Hello everybody, this is ZigZagZog coming to you from somewhere in this world. We're back to continue our playthrough of Empire Total War featuring Darthmod in the 40 unit save version. Well, we finished up our battle in India, and now to finish up and round out this turn, we got about $16,711 to spend in the area here. So let's figure out where we might want to spend it. And I'm thinking right off the bat, I'm going to want to go to England and finish the road infrastructure. I think I said England. I meant Europe. Get it all 100%, and then we'll move on to other areas like the Americas or here in India to start building and upgrading the infrastructure there. One thing I did remember is over in the Americas, there was one building in the Cherokee territory I was looking at. We pulled out prematurely. All jokes aside, Cherokee territory, we took our army up the road and we're -4 happiness with the nobles. Now when this state building finishes, that's going to help, and for whatever reason, I didn't even realize, we're 100% Protestant here in this territory. So I'm also going to do a quick build down here, not that it'll help us or prevent us from having to come back and settle things down for a turn, but we're going to also upgrade the chapter school here in the territory because +2 happiness for the Protestant population. And since we're 100% Protestant now in this territory, it shocked me too. Guess what? There's +2 happiness for the territory, the way I read that. So let's get that building upgraded. Then we'll move over to Europe and we'll just start cycling through infrastructure buildings until we find some more that need to be done. And here is Alsace-Lorraine needing an upgrade. We've got a lot done, as you can see, but I know there's some stragglers, I think, holding out on me here, but we'll make sure. And no, so Europe is done with that last upgrade that we just did. So let's go back to Europe. There's a couple of things in panning around that I want to get done too. Just minor details, minor loose ends, but we have an extra missionary here. We own the missionaries. We're going to move it up to Milan where we have nobody parked. We're getting northern Italy pretty well covered with our missionaries to start converting out of Catholicism up here. I also have a rake down here that we... I thought I'd be able to cross since my ship was right there blocking zone of control, but rather than crossing over here, which we don't need to do anymore because we have Morocco now, it moved it up here and started pathing some long way around. Well, we're done here. Let's, I'm thinking, let's get the rake over to port. Let's get just one of our vessels out of this fleet here. Do we have a lower rated ship? Or why don't I just do a second rate? What the heck? I still have 2 others there. That way we have a second rate down in the Indian theater. Just for fun. Should outclass anything we have to face down there. We're going to get the agent on board. And we're going to take the Navy and get as far as we can back down. And maybe we can't get very far. Will it allow? It doesn't seem to want to allow us to come out here. Probably because of the zone of control of the Spanish fleet. Yeah, it doesn't let me move out here because of that. Well, let's do this. Let's move this fleet out here and see if this can interfere with that zone of control. I think it can. Can we bypass? No, it says we can't. So let's move it into the zone of control. Okay, now we're getting around. Now it's working the way I was hoping. There we go. Oh, we have another Spanish fleet down here. Didn't even realize that. We're going to want to send a unit down that way now that we own Morocco. But we'll take care of that when we're able to move. And get this single ship. We can just, look at that, we can just make it and send it over to India with the rake. I can much better use a rake over in India than I can in Europe at the moment. I got plenty of other rakes to worry about in Europe. Speaking of rakes, I do have one that got kicked out of the school here. Let's see if we can re-infiltrate the school. Keep our eyes on these two areas, and we are successful. And I believe that's it. That means we just have infrastructure to build, and we'll move over to the Americas to get that done. And then our spending spree is done. Our spending spree is complete. Our spending spree is finished. Let's check infrastructure. We can upgrade here. We're just doing plain infrastructure upgrades until I run out of money for the moment. And we're one metalled road away from being done. And there we go. All right, and we did have our new research. I looked in here and it already got reset right here, Heidelberg. We finished a textile industry perk. I think that's what it was last time, and we are back to still keeping in the textile industry. I wish, rather than getting so many ministers, Protestant ministers out on the conversion path, I'd get a few more gentlemen so we could populate a few more of these schools, but oh well, we'll just keep our fingers crossed. And that should do it. We're ready for another turn. We'll see you on the other side. All right, and the Ottomans are back with their explosive shells offer, and once again, it's not worth 3 of my tech, so we are going to decline. Mustafa, get a clue. And we now seem to have another declaration of war. So this game is not making it easier. What it is Russia is going to move against Austria. Russia has many units on its side. I unfortunately, and I'm an ally with both. So I think what I have to do is decline and break the alliance, because I risk upsetting a lot more if I come to the defense of Austria. I don't want to start getting on the wrong side yet of all these other European-oriented countries. So we are going to break our alliance in this case, lower our dependability rating, or however that works, but I'm not going to get in on this one. Alrighty, and we have recruited an agent. Just what I was asking for. It's like the AI, the computer read my mind. We have a new gentleman way over in New Spain, though, unfortunately. We'll have to hunt down and see if we have a school anywhere in the Americas to get him to. And yeah, our alliance has been broken with Austria for good reason, though. I did not want to be at war with Russia, which siding with them would have made happen. And one thing that happened mid-turn is Spanish Navy has, we know we have that one main fleet of theirs blockaded in, but it turns out they now have about 3 other very small fleets of, who knows, 3-4 ships floating around, and one of them has raided one of our trade routes. And Cherokee Territory workers are on strike. They're probably causing damage to something in the area. We're going to have to look into that. We already knew about that one. And our rakes are successful. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, let's take a look at our construction report. I like a full... This is the kind of construction report you gotta love. A nice full page. We got a bunch more technology advances. I think the Ottomans are going to be upset that we have completed our own explosive shells research. Maybe that's their worry, is they knew we were close to researching it and they wanted to try and get something from it. Problem is they were just asking for too much. So we'll have to look, because I don't know that I necessarily want to go right on to wedge formation from here. The good news is our blast furnace moves right into Puddling Furnace, and I'm cool with that one. We have someone who died from natural causes. Oh, we got a new gentleman because one died. So here I'm excited about gaining a new gentleman, but we have no net gain. We love new towns. We're having such good growth that all of a sudden new towns are appearing left and right. Let's see where this one is. Over here, Copenhagen, Denmark, right near there. Do we have anything? What is the public order looking like over here? It's hanging in there tough. It's hanging in there nice. So we can probably afford some kind of industrial building at this point, and that's what we're going to do. Another new town over in Michigan territory. I think public order is in good shape over here also. Yes, we're going to go with some kind of workshop. What kind do we have here? The Smiths workshop. And Upper Louisiana. So a lot of growth in the Americas right now. And as far as public order, solid, so we don't have to do anything special here. One thing I may do, just to get these guys converted away from animism, rather than go for the income, this time we're going to do yet one more church school to help with that conversion process. And the electric condenser. Dutch physicist Pieter van Musschenbroek has demonstrated his new invention, the Leyden jar. The device, which Van Musschenbroek, if I got that right, calls a condenser, shows that two closely spaced metal plates with a glass jar separating them are capable of condensing a high density of electrical charge and storing it in an electrical field between them, the effect being due to the insulating properties of the intervening glass. This brilliant innovation is an important development in our striving to understand and master the mysterious force of electricity. Now, what would happen if several jars were combined in parallel? So actually, a lot of science going on during this era. As we can see from the upgrades that we have in battle as we continue, and just from our tech tree in general. Speaking of tech tree, let's get down here. I see why we went over here to the wedge formation. We have to upgrade one of our ordnance factories up to a great arsenal before we can get any more research going. So let's do that. In fact, we'll just do that in our home territory to start with, just to get it done. There we go. All right, let's take a look at what we have left to move on against Spain, since we're here in the continent. I think this army that we landed here last turn can reach its target, and let's do it. Whoops. Britain has this territory. What the heck, and when did that change? Under my eyes. That was, I take it back. There must have been some kind of trade going on, right? Is there some kind of trade? Is there another yellow territory? I used to be yellow. I swear it, guys. I swear it. So Spain is down to one territory. Is that true? Let's take a look at this map. I see no other territory other than the island highlighted for Spain. Wow. So Britain swooped on in there and either landed and took it out right under my nose, or there was some kind of a trade for peace maybe with Great Britain, and Great Britain now controls Naples. So we need to get our navy, or at least we need to get our ship. Do we have a fleet up here somewhere for transport? Yeah, we sure do. We're going to get this one back going down here for a little transport duty. Spain is over here now. No, that's Austria. That's just the Spanish fleet. That's one of the little fleets floating around that we saw. So anyway, let's get my ship back down here that I just clicked off of. See if we can't pick up our troops. So we no longer trespass on Great Britain. There we go, and let's see if we can make it to Sardinia. And we can. They have no port. If I recall, they have no port with which to land at. So we're just going to see if we can get our army offloaded right here.
Orders?
And next turn, we'll see if we can knock Spain out of the game.
Aye aye.
And get this navy, this single ship back up into port
Orders ontvangen.
for protection purposes.
Wacht op nadere orders.
All right, it's going to be a tough one. Fortunately, there's no walls, so I always feel we can hang tough when there's no walls. It looks like militia, guerrillas, and militia, and then reinforcing from over here, we would have militia and militia. So quality of troop-wise, they may end up slightly outnumbering us, but we do have artillery, we do have a couple cavalry. I think we'll be just fine. So that'll be coming up in our near future. And let's take a look down here. We do have everybody healing up. Now I see some other units we weren't able to get to, so let's make sure we get everybody healing up after battle. And that is our port. Oh, okay. They moved the fleet out of this port, and it's somewhere over here. In fact, there it is, rating our income here. So let's send the Mediterranean fleet out that way to take on this fleet and have a little fun with them.
Zullen zich voelen als een vis op het droge.
What do we have? Fifth rate, fourth rate, and a fifth rate. And we have a bunch of fourth rates to match up with them with a couple second rates. I want to start getting some of our ships battle tested, and we haven't done a naval battle in forever, and this is the way I prefer to do a naval battle, highly in my favor. Because if you've seen, we've done okay on our naval battles in this playthrough, but I still do not consider it a strength of mine. So we're going to go ahead and get a little extra naval practice in right now. We'll see you down on the high seas. All right, we do vastly outnumber them. We do have the wind on our side. So what I'm going to do is we are going to group this group right here, and we are going to group this group right here, and just charge on in after them depending on where they appear. So let's get this thing going. And we're just going to come down on this side with this fleet. And we're going to come down on this side with this fleet. See if we just can't pound them to death as we go by. Do a little Empire era drive-by is what we're going to attempt here. So as we get a little closer, we will return, so we don't have to. You don't have to watch the endless sailing that it'll take to get over close up. And with us coming down to bracket them on both sides, they don't seem to be able to know exactly how to turn, how to react. They're just continuing straightforward advance towards us. Of course, they are a little bit more against the wind than us, so their maneuverability is not necessarily amazing. But as long as they aren't turning into us, I'm fine moving full speed ahead to give us the best chance for multiple broadsides on them to bring their ships down. Their fourth rate is right here. The other two being fifth rates, and we're getting our first bow shots off at this point. And I'm happy with a bevel of fourth rates in a row, just driving by against their fourth rate. My own, of course, this one fifth rate is able to turn into us. And if he tries crossing in front of us, we'll have to make a turn here with our lead ship. But I'm hoping we can continue forward and just straddle all these ships and just pound them to Kingdom Come. Our fourth rate taking some initial hits from the fifth rate off in the distance here, that's turning in a way, looking to maybe move against us. Now, if he hooks all the way around, keeps turning, I'm fine. If he tries coming across my bow, I'm going to quickly abandon this tact and see what we can do. But I'm trying to come by on both sides to really put the hurt on the 4th rate, which is his strongest ship. The least damaged of all his ships. Now the bow shots will convince me to make a turn. And we're getting some, our first shots over on the 4th rate of his. And if we're lucky, we're crossing across his bow here, which would be nice. And that can't feel good. At least we're turning a slight bit away. Our bow is turning a slight bit away from the 5th rate. But we're taking a pounding from all their vessels at this brief moment. But being a 4th rate, we're hanging in there and holding up pretty well. Took that shot over here at this vessel. I should have held shot. I was hoping to get another bow shot on the 4th rate, and we lost that opportunity. This guy's hurting. The close range pounding from our 4th rates on this 5th rate has really lowered his hull, and they did not come into full strength to begin with. Start angling over a little bit so we can maybe get some extra shots. We're pounding them hard. He's still standing. His hull is amazingly weak. He's got to come down with, okay, this one's wavering over here. The 4th rate we've pounded and his hull has just started out green and is really in distress at the moment. I'm looking to see what our broadsides do over here. We took nothing. Does that mean we took our shots on somebody else before that and wasted our shots across the way? It could be. We have both the 4th rate and this 5th rate hurting right now. So I guess we're gonna zoom in on this next, unless his shots were also taken. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna break apart this grouping and see if we can't start getting some extra shots of our own on this vessel. Because the other 2 vessels have surrendered and is on fire and surrendered. And there's our pounding. For some reason he is still refusing to surrender. So we can get some shots. And he's going. He's gone. He's on fire. All right, so we pulled this one off as we knew we would, but we needed to get some experience for some of our fine vessels that we've built, and we haven't had a good old naval battle in a while. So thanks for humoring me as I took on this battle. All right, we have the opportunity to take on some ships if we want. I want to see what kind we're looking at. 5th rate, now. 4th rate, yeah, we'll take on the 4th rate and let the others go. We've gained a trait, +1 command to, when commanding ships to the line at sea, and very good. So we took care of that one. We're going to take our vessels, if we have the ability, into port. See about getting them repaired.
Zijn de orders, kapitein?
Costs us about 1,500. That's very affordable for us. And we continue with our main North Sea fleet. Continue the ability to keep these guys in line and trapped in here against the coast. What I will do, if we have enough buildings repaired, and we do, so I can recruit. We're going to get a couple militia recruited here to run down for us and cover our ports over here. What we have is a major fishery and a dockyard. And I have enough dockyards. I may look at converting if we have the ability to convert. No, I guess so. What we're going to do then, we're going to burn this down to go more of a trade port down here. See if we can't support income a little more down here in Morocco. All right, with our area down here seeming to be under control, we're going to move on to India. This is where our big actions seem to be ready to take place for us. We got a smattering of smallish units here. Now I just want to make sure that I am blockading here now that he's moved forces in here. I don't want these ports open for him, and he moved. Yeah, they all are showing blockaded because he moved extra troops into some of these. I just want to make sure I'm still showing the blockading symbol here, so he's not getting any trade income through these ports. And no new ports have appeared up here, so we're in good shape, smothering off the economy of the Mughal Empire. We are fully healed back up here with this army, so I think what we're going to do is make a move on this province right here. We're going to see he should be in reinforcement range. That he may be able to garner some reinforcements from Bijapur. We're going to find out, but I think we're in great position right now with other reinforcements ready to take on remnant armies should they move against us. So we're gonna make our move. Ahmednagar. Keep the pressure on. We're gonna see if they surrender. And surrender refused. And they have a lot more musketmen than normal on this one. So we may have, other than even the armed populace is armed with firelock. So there's only two on not per tradition here with the Mughal Empire, only 2 pure melee kind of units here. So we may have more of a firefight, but we vastly outnumber them, pretty much 2 to 1. Still going to fight it out because I enjoy battles. So we'll see you down on the battlefield. All right, looks like a pretty nice battlefield where we don't have a lot of hiding spots here. As far as hiding spots that'll block artillery, we're going to keep the artillery front and center since I don't have a ton of melee units. We're just going to get ourselves ready to go here. We got plenty of backups. I'm not going to spend a lot of time worrying about setup because we vastly outnumber them. And let's just get this thing going. There they are from the distance. One thing, I kind of went a little fast. I didn't really see if they had mortars to help them out on this city defense, but I'm not seeing them, and I don't recall them standing out to me. So we have a mobile army going against us that will have to run against us just because, for the pure simple fact that we have artillery that will bombard them if they do not. One thing I will do, we're going to bring the general right up front, and we're going to bring the dragoons right up front to help support our artillery. We also have some other cavalry over here that we're going to take out to the wings over here. bring the cavalry on this wing out to support our attack. As soon as they close in farther than that to engage with us, we can bring the cavalry in on their rear. So right now it's purely a long distance battle. I'm letting the artillery themselves pick out their shots until they get a little closer. And then we'll try focusing in just a little bit more. We don't seem to have as much maneuvering room on this side for our cavalry, so what we're going to do is we're going to bring our grenadiers down here, do a little square formation on the... Well, no, there is no cavalry over here. I take that back. But we will bring our grenadiers forward. Camel gunners, what we're going to do is we're going to focus this regiment on the camel gunners. Oops, and they just disappeared. We're doing some damage. Alright, over here we have armed populace and some musket men. We have our cavalry in the back ready to, we're going to turn them back around, hopefully to ignore these guys and stay away from these guys, but rush in when these guys start moving forward, these forces. Right now we are focusing our artillery right up front against the musketmen here. There are camel gunners somewhere over here that went into hiding. I didn't know it was that easy to hide a camel, but they're doing it. And we'll make sure we're facing forward, ready to react. I can see even as we bombard the musketmen, we're doing damage to the camel gunners that are sitting out here. Nobody seems to want to close in for that close range attack. So we got armed populace, musketmen, and armed populace. What I'm going to do is take all my cavalry on this wing, since they're starting to react towards us, come into the rear of the musketmen and see how that stirs things up. And if that does not go exactly how we want, guess what? We've got some forces that are going to start advancing at speed. And we seem to be going right into the armed populace for the most part. They're taking the brunt of the attack right here. And they're holding to their advance orders as we pester them and run in on their backside. I think we need to pull our cavalry back so we don't take too much friendly fire. I'm going to convert all this artillery because they are potentially exposed here to canister fire. Do some damage on these camel gunners. Keep it all close range right at the moment. Not too concerned about the armed populace. We're going to charge right into the armed populace. Musketmen are over here. We're going to redirect. Now that we've pushed off this attack, we're going to go back to long shot and focus on the musketmen. See if we can find a way to charge into the armed populace to shake them up. And now that the side has changed over on this flank, we're going to bring the cavalry out to help support and pick off the retreating armies over here. Bring our cavalry out now also to support on this side, and bring the cavalry over to end the threat, the minor threat over on this side, and start ending this battle. We have musketmen back here that are hanging on. They're strung out. We're going to see if we can't move on them, and we are going to change all of our artillery. Silence. There's not many units left out there to bombard, and there's too many of ours to get in the way, so we're going to silence the cannon. I think we're to the point where we can handle with our cavalry units. As far as I can tell, the remaining unit is now being attacked and engaged by our cavalry over here on the left. And they have some funky little pathing trying to get through this area to reach them. Enemy general has been killed, must have been in this regiment here. And that should be it. There we go, battle's over. We have victory. We have a new province in India. We're on the road to conquest of India that we are required to take. We only lost, wow, 63 men. Amazing job, guys. Amazing job. We do need, and we are required, I think, Bijapur. Let's go take a look at our objectives over here. So Bijapur and Goa are the two objectives over here. No, yeah, Goa's here, Bijapur, and then Mysore. Basically, I'm trying to get all the territories around Mysore, and then continue up, and then we just need the region Hindustan up here. Although who knows, I may continue and just push the rest of the conquest north, so when we do switch over to the British Empire, we don't have the remaining Mughal Empire coming in on our backs. We'll see. Or the same thing when I come down here against Mysore, that, you know, I don't have an existing Mughal Empire as weakened as it is, trying to make it a two-front war. So that's kind of where we are. We don't have too much farther to push forward here in the more southern area of India. Now the next thing we'll do, though, is keep this thing pushing, keep the pressure on. We're going to move against any remnants that we see out here. I don't know if they'll have the ability to be reinforced. This may be an auto-resolve battle, but we're going to keep pushing forward right now with this army. And they are unable to be reinforced, therefore we will just go ahead in this particular battle and just auto-resolve. And we lost pretty much equal numbers. We decimated them, though, at the end result. All right. Let's see if we can afford any more recruits from replenishing our damage here, and we can excuse me, and we can. And we got to wait for our building to come up here, because there's no way public order wise we can quite move out of here yet, so we'll hang in here. We have no other threats, though, that we have to worry about at the moment from any sources over here. So our offensive, we've kind of wiped out their numbers a little bit, where it's just stragglers like this guy, who hopefully will not push forward over here. What is he? What are we looking at? cavalry. Do we have the ability to recruit cavalry yet over here? Just in the way of dragoons. And so what I think we'll do, just to have some mobile reserves for isolated units like this that may try pushing through, we're going to hire just a couple dragoons back here and recruit them just in case they move forward into our territories as opposed to moving back to try and defend Bijapur. Alright, in the Americas, it's time to do a little bit of a retreat back to Cherokee territory to move out another day and get this back under control. And let's find out where the damage occurs. I don't see, for revolt, I'm not seeing a lot of damage or flames shooting up. What did they... I guess we didn't, we got lucky and we're back here soon enough, so we don't, it doesn't look like we have any flaming sites of revolt where they did their damage. So we seem to be under good control here. What we will do in the Americas is we will start looking at some upgrades that we can spend the remaining funds of 15,568 on. I will go ahead and continue the big focus on infrastructure. Let's see, New Granada will get metalled roads to Upper Canada, metalled roads to Hispaniola, and we got a couple more territories. If they need metal roads, we can do them. Well, heck, we only need cobbled roads here, but we'll get them. So we can actually do more cobbled roads as long as we have those to build. And we're done upgrading the infrastructure. Our grand infrastructure push is well in hand. The trait gained back there in India, we gained +1 to command when attacking on land. So our generals, when we don't kill them, are being promoted quite well. We do want to look at, okay, we decided this is okay, and then yeah, over here everybody's hanging in there on the proper, yep, we're doing the proper research that we need to do. We do have gentlemen down in fact, let's take a look at where we have, do we have a nice, no, we don't seem to have a nice school down here in the Americas. So what we're going to have to do, what we're going to be forced to do, is find our new gentleman down here. Was it New Granada? I can't even quite remember where. So let me, when all else fails, turn to your lists to find out. I think Mexico, yeah, it turns out this guy's in Mexico. So let's get the agent on the move. Get him to port. Yeah, and then see if we can get a vessel over here. We'll sacrifice one of our vessels. One of our lower level 5th rates for shuttle duty. Alright, we'll load up our agent and get the Navy moving as far as he can. And yes, we do have the gentleman aboard, taking him over towards Europe. Alright, that would seem to be about it for our turn. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take another turn and see what the future holds for us. Okay, what do we have here? A request from Austria. They would like basic steam pumps and they will pay us for it. Since that's a non-military technology, I am happy to grant them that trade offer. Alright, we've made it through a turn with not too much happening. We have an enemy raid in India. Let's go see where this took place. And look at that. It looks like we made a good choice in recruiting our dragoons down here just for those single units that try to squeak on by, and that's just what happened over here. Let's see, our rake missions are successful. And we have some other things. A suspicious death. Where is this? A general has died suspiciously. So we have a rake out there somewhere. We're going to have to recruit a new general, and we're going to do it right now while we're here. Except I can't recruit one at this time. Oh no! What happened to my available funds? Are we being blockaded by some strange force? What happened? Who is up to no good here? It's got to be Spain, and I didn't even see Spain move over in this direction. So that is a slap in the face from Spain. It's got to be, where is my income cut off from? Inquiring minds want to know why I just went bankrupt. Let's go take a look over here. Russian trade. So was I getting that much trade from Austria and Russia that now that they're blockaded, I'm bankrupt? That's insane. I can't believe it. Because those are the only two sources of income I've lost. And there's no way my income was much higher than what two countries worth of trade would add to. Something, somewhere strange has happened. Well, with that in mind, that's terrible. So we have a suspicious death. We can't replace that general yet. We have an enemy raid. Yeah, we took care of that, or we're aware of that. We have a recruitment report where we built our dragoons, and then our port defending units down in Morocco. Yeah, we are going to build this one when we get the money back into a port. Our fleet arrives. So we have a rake down in India to keep an eye on things. In fact, I'm going to send the rake. We kind of have good vision over here to where we need to react. So I'm going to send the rake over in this direction where we don't have quite as many eyes. There we go. And we might as well just keep this fleet down here to join up. In fact, we'll just help with a blockade. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. And construction report. We got a lot still going on. Construction report, but we're going to have a little bit of a halt and a pause right now. What I'm going to do is see if we can't take out Spain real quick. Time-wise, ooh, I may have to just hold off because another battle may just run too long. So what we're going to do is have this battle come next. It looks like it's not necessarily in our favor, but as I said before, we have quality units versus garrison line infantry and militia. There is one mortar, but we do have 2 units of cavalry, and we have artillery gun to be able to pelt them. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to maintain this siege, and this is what we'll open with next time to see if we can knock Spain out once and for all. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. We made progress. We continue to make progress. We're going to have to try and decipher what happened to our phantom income. And why it depleted down to 0. That has me a little confused, especially not seeing ports blockaded right now. The only thing I noticed is that we lost some trade with some trade partners, Russia and Austria. But I don't think those two combined would be enough to bring me down to 0. So we'll keep looking at this and seeing what we can figure out. Join me next time. I hope you enjoyed this one enough to come back next time and see if we can knock Spain out and continue progress elsewhere. This is ZigZagZog signing off from somewhere in this world. Thanks so much for watching. I do hope to see you next time.